Most of the videos I've shot on my channel with the Pocket 3, whether that be tutorial videos, tips and tricks videos, or just any videos for that matter, have pretty much all been shot vlog style, as in out and about on location, camera out in front of you, walk and talk. You know the deal. And on pretty much all of those videos, I get loads of comments asking the same question. What do you do to the footage? What settings do you use? So today it's time to spill the beans and walk and talk and vlog. Right, so I'm going to break this down into 5 sections. Video settings, audio settings, the settings, yeah, accessories, and edits in post. Okay, so let's start with the video settings, and pretty much all of the videos I've shot like this so far with the Pocket 3 have been shot during the day, which means I'm shooting in normal video mode. If I was shooting at night, I would probably think about switching over to low light mode. There are a couple of restrictions when in low light mode, but most of the time, like I said, all of my videos like this have been shot, no, apart from one when I was actually doing a low light test, have been shot during the day. So normal video mode is what I'm shooting in. Right, resolution. You want to make sure the resolution is set to the highest, so you've got that beautiful, perfect, crystal clear quality, and that is of course setting it to 4K. Make sure the ratio is set to 16:9, and the frame rate, I shoot most of my videos, if not all, in 25. This is going to be individual. Some of you might want to shoot in 24 or 30 or even 60, but for me, I shoot most of my videos like this in 25. And with the image adjustments, as in the noise reduction and the sharpness, I have both of them set to -2, as in literally off. And the reason being is because, like I said, most of the time I'm shooting this type of video during the day, so I don't really need any noise reduction processing happening. If I was shooting into the evening and it was getting slightly dark, or if you were shooting and it was getting slightly dark, then maybe move it up to -1. But the sharpness, I always, no matter what, have it set to -2, because I just don't need it doing anything. If I want to sharpen things later in post, I can, and I just find that if I do have it above -2, it just makes the image look a little bit harsh. Now, one thing that we all know that is slightly annoying with the Pocket 3 is the exposure. It does make things look a little bit bright and a little bit white. That is a white sky above me though, so it is pretty much accurate. We don't get that many blue skies, unfortunately, over here. But one thing I do to help with the exposure issue is adjust the EV meter when I go to shoot. And usually I have it set between -0.3 and -1. If I had to give you a number that I use most commonly in a situation like this, it would probably be -0.7, which is in the middle of those two numbers. I'm sure where you are, it is not as white as this. It's probably nice and sunny and blue skies. So it's going to be individual with this. Play around with it. You might have to go to -1, or you might sit at -0.7 or -0.3. And remember, if you are shooting obviously at night and it's not bright and white like this, you won't really need to make any adjustments to the EV meter. But one thing to note is any adjustments you do make to the EV meter, if you turn the Pocket 3 off, it doesn't save it. The meter goes back to 0. So when you turn it back on, unfortunately, you have to adjust it again. So James, do you shoot your vlog style videos in auto mode or pro mode? Well, I literally shoot all of these videos like this, vlog style, in auto mode. I haven't shot one of them in pro mode. They've all been shot in auto mode, and that's because the Pocket 3 does such a great job in auto mode. It does the job is so good that it actually deserves a put the camera down and clap moment, because that's how good auto mode is. Woo-hoo-hoo! Better stop, people are looking. Anyway, when you're out vlogging like this, you don't really want to be thinking about the numbers all the time that you would usually have to change if you were shooting, let's say, a cinematic video with the shutter speed, the white balance, the ISO, all of that kind of stuff. Just literally let the Pocket 3 do it all for you, because like I said, it does such a great job, and you guys notice that because that's what you keep commenting. What what are you doing? What settings are you using? I'm not, I want to say I'm doing all this magical stuff with it, but I'm not. I'm literally letting the camera do everything for me just by putting it in auto mode and just walking, talking, vlogging, teaching, whatever it is you're doing. Now, of course, you can set it to be in pro mode, and instead of having everything set to manual in pro mode, you could set everything to be in auto in pro mode. And the advantage and reason you would probably want to do that is so you're able to change the color profile. So let's say you wanted to shoot in HLG or D-Log-M, that's your way to do it. Whereas when you shoot in auto mode, you don't have the option to change the color profile. But for me, I'm not bothered about that because, like I said, it's come out fantastically fine for me so far in auto mode. But if you did want to shoot in D-Log-M or HLG and have everything in auto mode still, set it to pro mode, set everything to auto, and then change the color profile. And one of the reasons, apart from the fact that it just looks bloody great in auto mode, that I love putting it in auto mode, is the fact that I can just be out here just forgetting about the numbers. Like, I don't need to keep thinking, oh, you know what, I need to change this or I need to change that, especially when you're out and about, let's say in a city, live on location, and you're just focusing on the content. Mate, you don't want to be thinking about the numbers. You don't want to be thinking about the numbers. And talking of being live on location, it doesn't make sense for me to make a vlog settings video and not squeeze in a little cheeky vlog. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome. This is London. We've even got some blue skies appearing through. Oh, look at this. Yeah, got a Peppa Pig red bus as well. It's almost like this is the perfect moment. It was like, just, yeah, this is the perfect moment to do this. So here we are at the Houses of Parliament. We're going to cross over and take a little wander around the corner. Oh, and again, it's like the moment, it's just perfect. It's the clock has struck, I wanted to say midnight, but it hasn't struck midnight. It's struck, what is the time? 4 p.m. So can you hear the doings? Oh no, they've stopped. I thought they went on for longer than that. Okay, so it kind of is like doing, doing, and it kind of does like a ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Now you might be thinking to yourself, James, are you on the set of Peter Pan? Well, yes, I am on the set of Peter Pan, but in other words, ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ben. Now, I have already done some facts on Big Ben in a previous video, so I don't actually have any new facts to give you apart from the fact that it is 164, sorry it's a bit loud, 164 years old. So that makes it, so hold on, let me just do the maths. Sorry, I completely have said this wrong. Right, let me start again. It was built in 1860, which means it is 164 years old. I was trying to work out how old it was, but I remember I just said that it was 164. Anyway, 1860 is when it was built. There you go, look at that. Peter Pan. Come on, you've all seen Peter Pan. This is the set of Peter Pan. Oh, look at this. What's this? I don't know what this is. Let's get a bit closer. Who is this? This is definitely not Peter Pan. Yeah, I'm not sure who that guy is over there. If you know, let me know down below. But as you can see in the background, we've got the London Eye. Now, if I remember, and I haven't Googled this, I'm going to Google it to check it in a minute, but if my fact is correct, this was erected in 2000 for the millennium, so that makes it 24 years old. See, you're getting ages, that's ages, yeah, 24 years old, and it doesn't look a day over five. It's a bit rusty, It's still safe, go on it, it's still safe. It's still safe, but you can see it's not like day one. Right, so let's talk audio settings, and pretty much every video that I've shot like this, a vlog style tutorial video, I guess you could call it, I use the DJI Mic 1, the original mic. But if I was on location, let's say I was actually doing a vlog about London rather than doing a video like this, I wouldn't have any mic attached to me. I would literally just use the onboard mic on the Pocket 3. It does a really good job, and when you're out vlogging like on location and you're putting it away and taking it out and putting it away every so often, you don't want to be thinking about clipping a mic on all the time. I mean, you might, there's no right or wrong, but for me, if I was doing an actual vlog, let's say about London, I wouldn't have this attached. I'm only doing it because of it's this type of video. The only thing to note is in auto mode, you can't mess around with any audio settings, so you can't turn on wind reduction or anything like that. You can do in pro mode. I think it might do something automatically in the background. I'm not 100% sure, don't at me. But yeah, that's kind of the setup I use. Now you might be questioning the mic 2, like, do I use the mic 2? I've used it in a couple of videos. Those videos were, first of all, to review it, and second of all, to compare it. I'm not a massive fan of the way it sounds. It's not the worst mic in the world, but I prefer the original over that. So to conclude, if I'm doing a video like this, yeah, I've got the mic attached to me, but if I was doing a video like I was just doing at Big Ben where we were on location vlogging, I would just use the onboard mics on the Pocket 3. Right, so let's talk about the settings. And James, what the hell do you mean when you say the settings? Well, let's start from the top and work our way down, starting with face track. Now, when I got the Pocket 3, I was very, very excited about the face track feature because it is an amazing feature. You can just turn it on and not worry about making sure you're always in shot, because you always will be in shot. The problem I had over time when I was viewing the footage back was I just found it a little bit too responsive, and it just made the viewing experience a little bit like, yeah, it's just a bit like, whoa, because any small movements with your head, the camera moves. What would be good is if you could change the sensitivity of it, then I would have it turned back on. So throughout this whole video today, it's been off. I've turned it on now for this bit of the video, but yeah, it's been a few months now since I've stopped using face track. And actually, some of you commented back on some of my older videos pretty much the same thing, that it was, the face track was just making things look a little bit raw. And you know, I move around a lot in my videos, so even now I can see this on the screen, it's just a little bit jolty. So for the viewer, not the best viewing experience. So for me, I now, at the moment, until they let us adjust the sensitivity, I keep face track off. When I'm vlogging like this, I have the gimbal mode set to follow mode, but this is a perfect situation where you could change the gimbal mode to FPV. So let me just move around right now so you can see how it looks in follow mode. So it's kind of like smoothish. Well, no, it's smooth, not smoothish, it's smooth. It's smooth, it's slow-ish, that's it, slow-ish. But if I switch it now to FPV, you can see now when I move around that the movement is a lot more instant. And this is pretty much how it would look if you were shooting with a normal camera, because remember, you know, we've got the gimbal here, so this is the gimbal mode. But if you were shooting with, like, let's say a normal Sony camera or whatever, you wouldn't have gimbal mode as a mode to choose from because there's no gimbal. So when you move from left to right, when you pan from left to right, it's going to be instant like it is now. So this is going to be, again, like, what do you want it to visually look like? How it looks pretty much if you were shooting on a normal camera, or if you wanted it a bit more slowish and smooth, how it is on the gimbal. So for me, I personally haven't shot any vlog style videos like this in FPV mode. The gimbal mode for me is always in follow. And then linked in with the gimbal mode is the rotational speed, which is the speed that the gimbal moves when you move from like left to right. And I have mine set to default. So when I'm shooting like a cinematic video, I would have it set to slow, but for vlog styles like this, default. I do find fast a little bit too fast, but again, play around with it because you might want that kind of look. So for me, I just like keeping it bang in the middle at default. And when I'm shooting a vlog style video like this, I actually change the gimbal startup direction to backwards. Usually I would have it forwards, but pretty much most of the time in a video like this, I want the camera facing to me because I've got something juicy to say. So instead of me turning the Pocket 3 on and having to triple press the joystick to spin the camera around every time I turn it on, if I set the gimbal startup direction to face me every time, it just saves me time and I can just turn it on and press record and just, yeah, speak. When you're going through the settings, you'll see that there is a setting, selfie flip. And when I first got the Pocket 3, I thought, fantastic, let's turn selfie flip on, because actually I prefer the look of it, because it is how you look when you look at yourself in a mirror. Little did I know, well, little did I realise that actually it would throw all of you off, and it did. I shot my first video with selfie flip mode turned on, and yeah, well, the response was a little bit So just, yeah, don't turn selfie flip mode on, because if you do, everything is going to be flipped. So for example, at the moment on my coat, you can clearly read that it says the North Face, and everything around me is like positioned correctly. If I now turn selfie flip mode on, you can see things don't look how they should. So keep selfie flip mode turned off. Right, so let's talk accessories, and first things first, I don't shoot a video like this with the Pocket 3 without it attached to a selfie stick tripod. So I can literally put it down like this and do whatever I want like this. And of course it doesn't have to stand on the, oh, okay, and no, okay, right, we're not, no, we can't let that happen again. That's already happened once before. Oh. Okay. Right, where were we? So, if you're going to use a selfie stick tripod, make sure it's not windy and it doesn't fall over. But it is, I forgot what I was going to say, hold on. It is handy to have, because even now, like, I can just put it down here, which is probably going to be safer. It's not going to bend over. It's not going to fall over here because it's on like a ledge, and yeah, we haven't got the whole pole extended. But it's handy because it just lets you create other creative shots rather than just walking holding the camera all the time. You're able to put it down and just have a little talk, or I don't know, dance around and do whatever you want that you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't have it attached to a tripod or a selfie stick tripod. Right, so I want you to focus on everything around me and how it looks. And now I want you to focus around me and how everything looks. Don't know why I'm looking around, but yeah, I've whacked on a light pollution filter. The light pollution filter from Freewell, which is included in the mega pack. Yeah, just like the look of it. I think it makes the image pop a little bit. Is there any light around apart from the sky? No, but who cares? If you like the look of it, whack it on, and that's what I've done in a couple of my videos. In fact, I've used the mist filter as well, which is also included in the pack. Of course, I've used the ND filters as well, but we're focusing on the vlog accessories today, which is pretty much what I've used for that, which is the light pollution filter and the mist filter. But another filter you might want to use is, once I've taken this off, by the way, if you like the look of that and want these filters, I'll link them down below. But if you want to show everyone the maximum amount of things, of location around you, especially when you're vlogging, well, whack on this little guy, the wide angle lens. So now you can see, well, more. And of course, you don't want to go out and shoot any video, let alone a vlog video, without having external battery backup power. External backup battery power? Yeah, external backup battery power in the form of maybe the battery handle, if you've got that, like I've got it plugged in now, or just bring a power bank with you, because you don't want to be out shooting any video, like I said, let alone a vlog, and run out of battery, because no, just no. So I always have backup battery power. That's the new one. I'm going to keep that one. Battery backup power of some sort with me. Right, we've nearly made it. It's now time for the edits in post. And to be honest with you, this is the shortest section, mainly down to the fact that there is not really that much that I do. I would love to stand here and tell you, I've got this secret recipe. Don't tell, secret recipe? I've got these secret things that I do. Don't tell anyone, but I don't. I literally don't. There's not really that much that I do. When I comment below saying it's literally straight out the camera, most of the time it is. There are some times on some clips where I have to make some slight adjustments to the basic stuff like the shadows, the highlights, the exposure, but you would have to do that with any clip shot on any camera sometimes. So yeah, I make some adjustments when I need to, yeah, using those basic sliders. But one thing I do is I do add a slight vignette around the image, which actually has been on throughout this whole video so far. Did you notice? Have you noticed? In fact, you know what? Let's magically turn it off. There you go. That's with it off. To be honest with you, I turned this, the reason I started putting this on was because one of the videos I did, the sky was so white that I couldn't recover it after everything I had done with the exposure. So I was like, you know what, let me add a slight vignette round. And since then I'm like, actually, I really like the look of that with that on. So you know what, let's turn it back on. There you go. To be honest with you, the main thing with this comes from how you export the video. Like anything, whether it's shot with the Pocket 3 or any camera, it's down to the export, because that's going to affect the quality, affect the colors and all that stuff. So just make sure everything matches up with your frame rate and all that stuff, and make sure you're exporting things properly, because if you don't, everything, all the work you do when you're shooting the video and when you're editing it together is just going to be lost due to the export being wrong. And it's as simple as that. So there's only one thing left to do. Get out there, press record, and get, oh, don't get blown away. Woohoo! Don't get blown away. Right, there's only one thing left to do. Get out there, press record, and get vloggy. And stay safe.